All right, in this explainer, we're diving deep into a company that is, and I'm not exaggerating here, architecting a whole new digital infrastructure for AI. We're talking about CoData, their mission to build something they call the AI knowledge layer, which might just be one of the most important building blocks for our digital future.
But before we get into all the technical stuff, let's just start with one big, kind of wild idea. What if your reputation, your history of being trustworthy and accurate online, wasn't just some abstract concept, but an actual financial asset, something you could literally take to the bank? Just hang on to that question, because it's at the very heart of everything we're about to get into.
So, what in the world is this AI knowledge layer? Well, here's the core problem Kadata is trying to solve. For AI to be genuinely useful and, frankly, safe, it can't just keep scraping the vast, messy, and often totally wrong information from the internet. It needs a trusted, verifiable source of truth. And this layer, it's being built to be that foundational backbone for a much smarter and way more reliable AI.
Now, to see how this thing is actually being built, let's look at two of their big projects. They call them data bounties. And what's so fascinating is the absolutely massive leap in complexity and, the stakes between their first mission and their second one. It really tells you everything you need to know about how ambitious this whole thing is.
Okay, this slide just lays it out perfectly. Look at this. Data bounty number one was all about gathering super precise data on something really tangible. Appliance knobs for training robotics. Mission complete, great. But now look at data bounty number two, mapping the digital wallets of major crypto exchanges. I mean, they've literally jumped from the physical world right into the high-stakes beating heart of the entire DeFi economy. And for anyone who needs a quick refresher, DeFi, or decentralized finance, is all about using crypto to build a new, open alternative to the traditional financial system. And the centralized exchanges, or CXs, they're the main gateways into that world. So mapping how money moves through them, that is a critical, high-stakes job. This is all about creating transparency to help stop hacks and illegal stuff, which makes the whole ecosystem safer for everyone involved. And you can tell how high the stakes are just by looking at the reward. Kodata put up a huge prize pool of 100,000 of their own token, XNY, for this one mission. So you see, this isn't just about collecting data. The real goal is to build a kind of shield that protects the decentralized world from dirty money. It basically turns all the contributors into a digital neighborhood watch, but with a very serious financial incentive. But, just rewarding people for good data is only half the battle. The other half, and you could argue it's the more important half, is creating a system that actually values the people providing it. And this is where Codata's Reputation 2.0 comes into play. It's all built on this pretty radical idea that in the coming AI economy, trust is going to be way more valuable than capital. So they've rolled out a totally new reputation system. And instead of some hidden, mysterious score that you can't see, it's now a completely transparent, unified credit signal. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a credit score. But instead of just tracking your financial history, it tracks your history of providing true, accurate, and valuable data. So, how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty simple, really. It's built on two main pillars. First, there's your behavior. How accurate and consistent have you been over time? But the second part is economic staking. Think of it as putting your money where your mouth is. You can actually back your data submissions with the $XNY token as collateral. It is a super powerful way to signal to everyone just how confident you are in what you're providing. And this, right here, brings us all the way back to that big question from the beginning. Kadata says it loud and clear. Your reputation isn't just a score, it's a financial asset. A higher reputation score gets you access to bounties with bigger rewards, and even exclusive expert tracks. Your trustworthiness literally starts to unlock new ways to make money. It's a game changer. Now, this whole system of reputation and reward, it's not just some clever piece of code. It's actually rooted in a much deeper philosophy about information itself, which Kodata has been exploring in a pretty cool creative series. And this really gets to the very core of why a human-curated knowledge layer is so absolutely essential. They're asking this profound question: when does a pattern actually become meaning? They even explored this visually with an AI-generated piece of art that morphs from just chaotic noise into this really structured, eye-like image, just like the one you see here. It's a perfect metaphor for what they're trying to build. And here is the single biggest takeaway from that whole exploration. AI is fantastic at recognizing patterns, probably better than any human ever could be. But it's us, it's humans, who provide the perception, the context, and ultimately the meaning.
That right there is the irreplaceable value that human contributors bring to this knowledge layer. Okay, so let's tie all of these different threads together. We've got these high-stakes data bounties. We've got a reputation system that literally turns your trust into a financial asset. And we have this deep philosophy about the irreplaceable role of humans. Every single piece is designed to work together, and it's all pointing toward one incredibly ambitious goal.
So the crucial point is this. Codata isn't just another platform to get tasks done. It's being designed as a self-enforcing economic system, a system where the very act of being truthful, of being accurate, is also the most profitable strategy you can have. They're trying to fundamentally hardwire the link between being right and making money. And that leaves us with one final and pretty provocative question to think about. As AI gets more and more powerful, and that line between what's real and what's fake gets blurrier every single day, Codata's work suggests that verifiable truth is about to become an incredibly scarce and therefore valuable commodity. So the real question is, in a world full of AI, what is the new price of truth?